visits are anything to go by. It doesn't appear that we are so, I don't know whether the Chinese themselves aren't coming or we aren't inviting them into the conversation. I mean, because you see publicly, there is a sense you get that we hobnob quite easily with the US in terms of their government officials than we do with the Chinese. There's almost this tension that you almost feel when a Chinese state official is hobnobbing with a Ghanaian official. I mean, and there's a lot of controversy surrounding it also in the past. Aisha One, the Galamsey issues. So there's always a tension. The senior minister got into big trouble when he suggested that, our diplomatic relations in China is almost being determined and dictated by one woman. So that tension has existed. Yet, and I get your point, balance the relationship. But it doesn't appear we balanced this well between the two superpowers.
You see, the point is that Ghana as a nation has always been culturally more Western because of our historical past.
Yeah, we are taking a lot of money from. Yeah, we take a lot of money from the so-called, non-West, which is China and Russia and all that.
So I'm bringing up a narrative. When it happens like that, I think Honorable made the point that we are still suffering from some of the effects of slavery and colonialism, and our image about good or bad, our image about Chinese is influenced by the paradigm of this Western past that we adopt, so that we tend to see things from the West more favorably than things from China. A typical Ghanaian, when you say that some goods is from China, he tends to adopt a kind of skeptical attitude towards it than the goods from the US or Britain, because then that aspect is associated with quality. So if you look at it very carefully, you need to deconstruct the narrative, the image of China, which is being held by both the public and state officials. Of course, the engagement with China has certain aspect of tension because of, as we said, the Galamsey issue and how we seem to go around the Galamsey and to project the Chinese as being the problem. In actual fact, we go into the details of the Galamsey. The Chinese man in China doesn't know where the gold is. So if you are not dealing effectively with your own people who are collaborating with the Chinese who come in to aid them do the kind of business they are doing, and you then put the image of Chinese as if they are the ones who are solely responsible for the problem, then you create this kind of artificial tension that we see.
Yeah, but that's precisely my point, right? I'm just asking it because of the point you made that we should make this relationship between between the United States and the rest of the powers. We should have an equal dealing with them, if you may. But it doesn't appear that we're doing that. I don't know whether we are deliberately.
Of course, currently, I agree with you that currently it seems that we seem to be more comfortable with the US and the Western partners. And if you look at some of the events that have preceded the visit of the second the second in command in the US. So, for instance, you look at President going to the US and some of the comments that came out. Then you think that we are becoming a little bit pro-Western, as it were. So, but then within that, it is imperative we recognize that our bread is not buttered by one side alone. It is buttered better if we engage
and that's a perfect point. Hold on for me. Let me bring that to Samokuti Blakwa.